It's a privilege to be here, and yes, I happen to be the youngest bishop in the Anglican Communion. But more than that, it's bringing a balance to the church. It's great to have a diversity of cultures, of race and ethnicity, of the theological spectrum, but also in terms of age. And I've been, just really well received, and it's just been a real privilege to be here, representing not only the Diocese of Northwestern Pennsylvania, but the people of the Episcopal Church.
It's been extraordinary to be in a setting with so many male bishops. It's been wonderful to make new friends throughout the Anglican Communion, both male and female. But it's also been a wonderful time to reconnect with some of the women bishops in Tech and get to know some of the women bishops throughout the Anglican Communion, and to hear their stories and to share my story with them has been a wonderful experience, bonding experience for the women here, as well as being able to share in the Anglican Communion Conference, the Lambeth Conference, with the many of the male bishops as well.
It's been a wonderful experience for me. I've had a wonderful opportunity to meet people from all over the church, to share our stories, and also to feel like an ambassador from Northwestern Pennsylvania and bring our story to the table here at Lambeth at Kent University.
I found the Spouses Conference just so welcoming, even though there are only about, I would say, half a dozen men among 500 women. But I just think they've done a marvelous job making it gender neutral and being involved in discussions around the table, as well as lectures and presentations that have just been fascinating.
The spouses have concentrated on telling their stories through different lenses. We started with telling stories through the lens of our family of origin and where we come from. And today we talked about telling our story through our marriages and what it's like to be not only married, but married to a bishop. And we had a wonderful opportunity to hear from all different cultures how marriages are in some cases arranged and how in very different from what we are used to in the American culture. And it's been a wonderful, wonderful experience to share our marriage and to share the role of the bishop's spouse with all of these other people here in the same position as I am. So it's been great.
I think one of the things we've talked about is just the unbelievable diversity and gifts among both groups, spouses and bishops. It's just great sitting around a table with spouses who are not only supportive of their bishop spouses, but also have their own ministries in the world to provide food and shelter and clothing and education, and are involved in peace and justice issues. It's just amazing to see the gifts around the table, and we've talked about that from both groups.
We're delving into, I think, issues that are important to the communion, to our being together. We're tying the past and things that have gone on in the past to what's going on now, and thinking about what will go on in the future. And I was thinking today, since I could possibly attend 5 Lambeth conferences and maybe set a record for Lambeth conference attendance, I'll at least have a perspective now, but definitely in a few years. Hearing what other people have to say and what they bring to the table, what other bishops' experiences are around the world, their contexts, the way that they're preaching and presenting the gospel in their places will strengthen what I'm doing as a bishop in my diocese, but also hearing about what their families are doing and what that's like will strengthen not only our marriage, I think, but the marriage of the clergy in our diocese and the people of our diocese. I really think that's why it's so important for us to be here, and so important for us to be at the table.
We try to take time at the end of every day and share. We bought cameras before we came, and we try to share the camera pictures that we've taken throughout the day, and then share some of the stories that we've heard. And some of the shared ministries that couples we've met have had, and then some of the ways that different spouses have embraced new ministries in the church and in the communion.
Someone made a very interesting comment today in the large group plenary for the spouses, and she said, it was a lady from South Africa who said that our husbands wear 2 rings, one on their left hand and one on their right hand. And that represents that it's a lifetime commitment, lifelong commitment in both worlds, which I thought was great.